In our last class, we spent some time talking about landing pages, and we probably spent more time going into that a little prematurely, but I wanted to set the pace for the homework and what you were able to read in the last week, and then also with the training on HubSpot. So what we're going to talk about right now is just specifically a few more tips from the landing pages that you probably already picked up, but I just wanted to make sure that you've covered these things. So, one of the most important things on the landing page is that you're driving traffic to this page to complete some action. As we talked about, that's why you remove the navigation. That's why you have basically a focus on that form to try and create the lead capture. Some people call it the lead capture page, the squeeze page. There's a variety of things that you call it, but the main point is to get the traffic to come into that site, into that particular page that's probably unlinked or not a part of the main navigation, and have some strong title, headline, excerpt, benefits, testimonials, and some call to action there. So those are the things that we talked about in our last class. If you need an image that I had shared, I'll be glad to share that with you. Some other things to think about, especially setting up for the homework that we have during this class and a follow-up to this class, is to keep it clean. Really try to focus on that design and to try and make it visually appealing. If it's a cluttered page, specifically if it's confusing what you're supposed to do, then it makes it very hard to get some action out of it. And so the reason I say that, that the cluttered aspect, there are a lot of websites that are more direct mail oriented, and they are very long form. They're not like what we saw. They're cluttered, but they are driving towards the same action, and they're effective. So it's hard to argue with that when there's a lot of success in that space. So just keep that in mind. But in general, I say keep it clean. It's really important to write to your audience. I've said this over and over again. Even if you have to have multiple campaigns, even if you have to try and treat that where you've got different sources of traffic. You may have some traffic coming in from LinkedIn, some traffic coming in from Facebook, Twitter, it maybe from AdWords. However that's getting there, make sure that that audience and the tone of that content is really written towards that particular audience. I always say write like humans do. You've read that, I know, in multiple places, but it's really Ann Handley's comment, and I think it bears a lot of truth. If you need examples, look at Basecamp's website. Look at MyEmma. They're an email provider in Nashville, and they're fantastic at writing very human. The other thing to think about is that you want to write like a billboard. And I said this last time, but you've got 3 seconds to capture somebody's attention. Make sure that you do that. Make sure that you're able to pull that off. And so you've got to have that strong, compelling, cohesive approach that when somebody gets on there, they know exactly what they're doing. Make the offer very clear and why they're there, what they're going to get out of it. Make that call to action very clear, where they're going to go next. And then actually deliver whatever it is that was on the web or whatever the link came to. That just sort of ties together. Make sure that offer is symbiotic with the ad that drove it in. And then I'll spend a little more time later talking about marketing automation, but make sure that there's follow-up involved here. You don't want to just have them fill out an email form to get a PDF and then you never send the PDF. Or you're going to put them on some update and you never send it out. They probably won't remember, but it's a waste of an opportunity and time that you've put into something. So make sure that you've got that built in. There's a few tricks that I would think about. One that we talked about last time was having fewer fields. You really don't want to have 20 fields on there. You want to have, at a minimum, you want to have an email capture field, and you can build up from there. I think an email and a first name is sufficient. I don't think you need to go greater than that, but I wouldn't go I definitely wouldn't go to 20 fields. I wouldn't try and get the company name and make everything required. It's just a lot of information to capture. The other thing you'll notice, and especially as you visit sites, it's probably annoying now, these light boxes where they will be action dependent. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, a box will appear and ask for your email address. If you try to escape the page, then it will pop up a light box and ask for your email address. They're highly effective. They can really improve results. So that's something to think about. Where we started to get to last time, I just want to hit one more time. What are you actually tracking on a landing page? What really matters? So obviously some of the keys. You want to track visitors. How many people actually came in and viewed the page? You want to track the sources. Where did they come from? Are they coming in from your social media pages? Are they coming in from Google AdWords, from other links that are out on the website? Try to understand where people are coming from, what's effective and what's not. What's the bounce rate on the page? So a bounce rate's when somebody comes in and leaves quickly without doing anything, without reading the page. And obviously on the landing pages, there's not a lot to do. It's not like spending time on the website. So, really trying to be specific in what you're, with the content on the landing page will really help to reduce the bounce rate. What's the conversion rate? That's going to be one of the most important things. I know in the book it said that a landing page that's well done can lead to 50% results. Well, that seems extremely high to me. A conversion rate of 50% is fantastic. If you get it, great. That certainly feels a little bit high. And so what you'll want to do is try and test these things. You'll want to try and understand what is leading to a higher conversion rate, because that's really the only reason that you have a landing page in the first place. So if someone is showing up on the website and they're bouncing, you got a high bounce rate, you've got them, you've had their attention, you drove them in, the ad that you ran or the whatever led them there in the first place seemed to work, but for some reason it didn't actually convert. So you can start to look at that and say, well, what are the things that I can change? Maybe I can change the color of the headline. Maybe I can change the text in the headline. Maybe I can change the location of the form box. All of those things are fine independently. You don't want to get into a situation where you're changing this and that at the same time. Isolate the variables, test it, give it enough actual impressions to determine whether that works or not. 100, 1,000, you pick the number. And once you have enough data there, then you know whether you need to make that change or not. And then finally, what is the campaign? How is that campaign effectiveness? Are you really able to measure that you have success?